When we talk about taking care of our circulation, few things are as powerful as the right vitamin to eliminate clots and keep the veins in the legs clean. I am Dr. Yamasaki. I have been dedicated to vascular medicine and preventive health for more than 20 years, working with patients facing circulation problems, varicose veins, and thrombosis risk. The first vitamin I want to analyze with you today is vitamin E, considered by many experts as the most powerful for caring for your veins. When we talk about circulation and vascular health, we almost always think about how to prevent clots or blood pressure, but few people realize that the strength of our veins depends a lot on the nutrients we consume daily. Vitamin E is an exceptional antioxidant, and its role in protecting the integrity of venous walls is fundamental. By strengthening the membrane of endothelial cells that line our veins, this vitamin helps maintain elasticity and reduce inflammation that, over time, can generate clots and varicose veins. Science shows us that, in addition to its antioxidant effects, vitamin E has a direct impact on blood fluidity, preventing blood from becoming too thick and thus reducing the probability of obstructions that could complicate our circulation. In my experience as a specialist in vascular health, I have seen patients with sensations of tired legs, swelling, and in some cases, early signs of thrombosis. In most of them, controlled supplementation with vitamin E, along with healthy habits like walking daily and maintaining adequate hydration, has shown significant improvements. It is not a miraculous remedy nor a substitute for conventional medical treatments when there are serious pathologies, but it is a silent and powerful ally that protects your veins from the inside. Additionally, its antioxidant effect not only protects vein cells, but also helps reduce the formation of free radicals that damage other tissues, meaning its benefits extend beyond the circulatory system. Now, let's talk about how vitamin E acts at the molecular level. This fat-soluble vitamin integrates into cell membranes and protects phospholipids from oxidation. In simple terms, it prevents the cells that form our veins from becoming rigid or inflamed due to oxidative stress. When the membrane of these cells remains flexible and healthy, blood circulates more easily, preventing dangerous accumulations that could lead to clots. Another important point is that vitamin E helps inhibit platelet aggregation. Platelets are the cells responsible for coagulation, and if they activate excessively inside a vein, they can generate thrombi. Thanks to vitamin E, this activity is better regulated, decreasing risks of complications. But it's not just about blood or deep veins. Vitamin E is also key for microcirculation, that is, blood flow in the capillaries and small veins that nourish the tissues of your legs. Efficient microcirculation ensures that muscles and skin receive enough oxygen and nutrients, preventing inflammation and the sensation of heaviness. When my patients incorporate foods rich in vitamin E, such as almonds, hazelnuts, sunflower seeds, spinach, or avocado, they notice an improvement in leg energy and reduced swelling at the end of the day. And yes, you can supplement if your daily diet does not cover the recommended amount, but always under medical supervision, because as with everything in nutrition, excess can also cause problems. It is important to mention that the benefits of vitamin E are not limited to preventing clots and strengthening veins. It also influences systemic inflammation. In patients at risk of cardiovascular diseases or with family history of thrombosis, maintaining optimal levels of vitamin E can reduce chronic inflammation, which is one of the main triggers of vascular complications. That is why, more than a simple supplement, this vitamin is an integral preventive tool. Even clinical studies show that its combination with other antioxidants like carotenoids or selenium enhances the protection of endothelial cells and improves blood vessel elasticity generating a synergistic effect not obtained with isolated foods. Now, let's talk about how to incorporate it practically into your daily life. Natural sources are always preferable because, in addition to vitamin E, they provide other beneficial nutrients. You can add a handful of almonds or sunflower seeds to your salads, cook with extra virgin olive oil, or include avocado in your meals. These strategies not only increase vitamin E intake, but also improve the absorption of other essential nutrients that work together with it to keep your veins healthy. In specific cases when vitamin E levels are low, I recommend a standardized supplement, ensuring the dose is adjusted to individual needs and monitoring the patient's response. The key is consistency. Benefits are seen over time, not immediately, but with sustained habits. The improvement is tangible. Another aspect I usually emphasize with my patients is the importance of lifestyle in venous health. Vitamin E is powerful, but it needs a favorable environment to act. Maintaining adequate weight, moderate exercise, and avoiding sedentary lifestyle are factors that enhance its effect. For example, walking 20 to 30 minutes daily improves venous return and allows blood to circulate efficiently, reducing pressure on vein walls. If we combine this habit with a diet rich in vitamin E, the results are much more evident. Additionally, vitamin E plays a role in regulating coagulation. Although it is not an anticoagulant like prescribed medication, it helps balance platelet function and keep blood fluid without generating unnecessary bleeding risks. This is especially important for older people or those with family history of thrombosis. Its gentle but constant action allows veins to work without overload and reduces the appearance of small inflammations that, over time, can become more serious complications. I want to mention a point that many are unaware of. Vitamin E also protects against oxidative damage induced by environmental stress. Pollution, cigarette smoke, and exposure to toxins generate free radicals that directly affect veins and arteries. Maintaining adequate levels of vitamin E helps neutralize these radicals and prevents them from compromising the integrity of your blood vessels, especially in people living in urban areas with high exposure to pollutants. We can say that vitamin E is not just any supplement. It is an essential nutrient with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, platelet-regulating, and microcirculation protecting capacity. Its daily incorporation, whether through natural foods or controlled supplementation, strengthens venous walls, improves blood fluidity, protects against clots, and contributes to efficient circulation throughout the body. For those seeking to care for their veins and prevent circulation problems, vitamin E presents itself as the first line of natural and effective defense. Incorporating it into your daily routine, along with healthy habits, can make a difference in how you feel and in the long-term health of your legs and heart. Did you know that vitamin E is used to clean veins? Tell me yes or no in the comments. I will be reading them all. The next vitamin I want to talk to you about is vitamin B3, also known as niacin, and its role in strengthening arteries is impressive. When we talk about circulation and vascular health, we often focus on veins and clots, but our arteries are equally important. B3 is key to maintaining the flexibility of these blood pathways, ensuring blood flows without obstacles and reducing plaque accumulation that over time can lead to serious cardiovascular problems. From my clinical experience, I have observed that patients who consistently incorporate B3 not only improve arterial health, but also report less leg fatigue and heaviness at the end of the day. Now, let's talk about how vitamin B3 works physiologically. Niacin directly participates in the production of NAD and NADP, essential molecules for energy metabolic reactions in cells. This means that every cell in your arteries can function optimally, repairing damage and maintaining wall elasticity. Arterial elasticity is crucial because when arteries become rigid, blood pressure increases and the risk of vessel injuries grows. B3 helps maintain that flexibility, ensuring blood reaches all tissues easily and avoiding overload on the heart. One of the most interesting mechanisms of B3 is its effect on cholesterol. This vitamin can increase HDL cholesterol, known as good cholesterol, while reducing LDL, or bad cholesterol, and triglycerides. Why is this important for your arteries? Because elevated LDL deposits on arterial walls, forming plaques, hardening them and narrowing the lumen. When blood flow is obstructed, pressure rises and organs receive less oxygen. B3 acts as a natural modulator, reducing this accumulation and protecting arterial integrity in the long term. In my practice, I always recommend combining niacin with a balanced diet and regular physical activity. Natural sources include oily fish, lean meats, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Each of these foods provides B3 in its active form and at the same time other nutrients that work synergistically to keep arteries healthy. For example, oily fish not only provides niacin, but also omega-3 fatty acids that help reduce arterial inflammation. Consistently incorporating these foods generates a cumulative effect. Arteries become more flexible, circulation improves, and clot risk decreases. B3 also has a vasodilator effect, meaning it helps arteries expand when necessary, increasing blood flow in response to the body's demands. This is especially important during exercise when muscles require more oxygen. Niacin facilitates efficient blood delivery to every cell, avoiding premature fatigue and improving physical performance. Additionally, this vasodilator property can help alleviate sensations of tired or numb legs, something many patients mention during consultations. Another key point deserving attention is B3's capacity to reduce arterial inflammation. Chronic inflammation in arteries is one of the main causes of cardiovascular diseases, and niacin helps modulate immune cell activity within blood vessels. This prevents micro-injuries that could evolve into arteriosclerosis or artery hardening. In simple terms, B3 protects arteries from the inside, maintaining their integrity and preventing serious future complications. I also want to highlight that niacin is useful in cellular repair. When arteries suffer small damage from oxidative stress or elevated pressure, B3 contributes to endothelial tissue regeneration, the innermost layer of arteries. Healthy endothelium ensures smooth blood flow and prevents microclots that, in the long term, could trigger more serious problems. In clinical practice, patients with history of hypertension or high cholesterol show notable improvements in arterial elasticity when incorporating B3 in a controlled manner. Now let's talk about the correct way to consume B3. There are two main ways: through diet and supplements. In diet, foods like tuna, chicken, turkey, sunflower seeds, peanuts, and oats are excellent sources of niacin. These foods not only provide the vitamin, but also contain amino acids and antioxidants that help optimize its absorption and action in the body. When resorting to supplements, it is fundamental to do so under medical supervision, as excessively high doses can cause skin flushing, digestive discomfort, or liver effects. The key is balance to reap all the benefits of B3 without risks. Additionally, vitamin B3 has an indirect role in preventing varicose veins and peripheral circulatory problems. Although it does not act directly on superficial veins, by strengthening arteries and improving general circulation, it reduces pressure on leg veins and facilitates venous return. This is especially important for people who spend many hours standing or sitting, as it prevents blood stagnation and decreases heaviness and pain in the lower extremities. Another interesting benefit of B3 is its influence on general metabolic function. By improving cellular energy production and regulating lipid metabolism, This vitamin contributes to an efficient and healthy cardiovascular system. Patients with overweight or insulin resistance often benefit from a B3-rich diet, as it improves lipid profile and decreases inflammation, factors that directly affect arterial health. B3 is a true ally for keeping your arteries strong, flexible, and resistant over time. Its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, vasodilator, and cholesterol-regulating action makes it an integral tool for protecting circulation and preventing serious complications. Consistently incorporating it, whether through natural foods or supplements under medical supervision, can make a difference in your daily well-being and long-term vascular health. And if you are not yet part of our community, it's time to join. Subscribe now to the channel so you don't miss any of our videos. And now it's time to mention vitamin K, a nutrient that plays a fundamental role in regulating blood clots and preventing artery calcification. Although many people associate it only with coagulation and bone health, vitamin K has a direct effect on circulation and blood vessel protection that is surprisingly potent. In simple terms, it helps blood flow correctly when necessary, avoiding dangerous clots, and at the same time prevents calcium from accumulating in arterial walls, a process that over time can generate arteriosclerosis. To understand why vitamin K is so important for your arteries, we must first talk about two key proteins that depend on it: protein C and protein S. These proteins act as coagulation regulators, ensuring your blood clots when there is an injury, but no unnecessary clots form inside vessels. When there is vitamin K deficiency, these proteins do not function optimally, and blood can become more prone to clotting inside arteries or veins, increasing the risk of thrombosis, embolisms, or even serious cardiovascular accidents. From my clinical experience, I have seen how patients who incorporate vitamin K into their diet and daily habits notably improve blood fluidity and general vascular health. But vitamin K's action is not limited only to coagulation. Another fundamental mechanism is its role in activating matrix Glay protein, MGP, a protein that inhibits arterial calcification. When arteries accumulate calcium, they become rigid, lose flexibility, and increase pressure on the heart. MGP, activated by vitamin K, binds to calcium and prevents it from depositing on arterial walls, protecting arterial integrity and maintaining efficient circulation. This effect is especially relevant in older people or with history of hypertension and cardiovascular problems because with age, the tendency to calcification significantly increases. Now let's talk about the sources of vitamin K. There are two main types: K1, present in green leafy vegetables such as spinach, kale, lettuce, and Swiss chard, and K2, which is found in fermented foods like natto, aged cheeses, eggs, and some types of meat. K2 is particularly important for arterial health because it is absorbed better by the body and has a more direct effect on preventing calcium deposits in blood vessels. In my practice, I recommend a balance between both forms: K1 to maintain healthy coagulation and K2 to protect arteries and bones. Additionally, vitamin K has an indirect anti-inflammatory effect on arteries. Chronic inflammation in blood vessels facilitates plaque formation and arterial stiffness. By ensuring that calcium does not deposit improperly, K reduces irritation and keeps the arterial wall more flexible. This means that, combined with other healthy habits, like exercise and a balanced diet, vitamin K helps prevent cardiovascular diseases and improve overall circulation. It is important to mention that vitamin K also regulates coagulation during risk situations, such as after minor surgeries or in people with a tendency to bleeding. Maintaining adequate levels of this vitamin ensures that blood forms clots only when necessary. avoiding problems like deep vein thrombosis or pulmonary embolisms. That is why, in patients with a history of clots, evaluating vitamin K intake is crucial. Now let's talk about how to include it effectively. For K1, green salads, kale or spinach smoothies, and steamed vegetables are excellent options. K2, although less common in the Western diet, is found in fermented foods like natto, aged cheeses, eggs, and lean meats. For those who do not consume enough K2 naturally, there are supplements that can help, but always under medical supervision, as the dose must be adapted to each person and their health condition. Vitamin K also interacts with other nutrients to enhance its effect. For example, the combination with vitamin D and calcium is fundamental. D improves calcium absorption, while K ensures that this calcium does not deposit in arteries but in bones, avoiding arterial calcification. This trio of nutrients is especially relevant in people at risk of osteoporosis and cardiovascular diseases, because it protects both the skeletal and vascular systems simultaneously. Another benefit is protection against age-related arterial stiffness. As we age, calcium accumulation and loss of arterial elasticity are inevitable if preventive measures are not taken. Vitamin K, by regulating these processes, helps keep arteries flexible, facilitating circulation and decreasing blood pressure. Older patients who incorporate enough K2s into their diet report less leg fatigue and greater endurance. During physical activity, something not always associated with a vitamin, but evident clinically. Vitamin K is essential both for preventing acute problems and for maintaining long-term vascular health. Its ability to regulate coagulation and prevent artery calcification makes it an indispensable tool for protecting your circulatory system. The combination of a diet rich in K1 and K2, along with healthy habits like adequate hydration, exercise, and cholesterol control, can make the difference between compromised circulation and a strong, functional vascular system. And now I want to talk to you about vitamin C, a fundamental nutrient for vein health, circulation, and tissue repair. When we talk about varicose veins, healing, and vascular health in general, many people immediately think of creams or surgical procedures, but vitamin C has a profound and proven effect on the strength of venous walls and the body's ability to heal. Its role goes far beyond preventing colds. It helps produce collagen, strengthens capillaries, and contributes to maintaining the integrity of veins. Throughout the circulatory system, vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis, a key structural protein that supports skin, blood vessels, tendons, and ligaments. In practical terms, this means that your veins and capillaries depend on this vitamin to stay strong and resistant to the pressure of blood continuously circulating through them. When vitamin C levels are low, venous walls become more fragile, facilitating the formation of varicose veins and small subcutaneous hemorrhages. That is why, from my clinical experience, I have seen that patients who incorporate enough vitamin C into their diet experience less sensation of tired legs, swelling, and appearance of superficial small veins. Another fundamental effect of vitamin C is related to its antioxidant action. Circulation generates constant oxidative stress, especially in people with hypertension, overweight, or exposure to environmental toxins. This oxidative stress can damage endothelial cells that line veins and arteries, weakening vascular walls and increasing the risk of chronic inflammation. Vitamin C neutralizes free radicals, protecting endothelial cells and maintaining vein flexibility and elasticity. This not only prevents varicose vein formation, but also improves microcirculation, making blood flow more efficiently toward the heart. Additionally, vitamin C plays a critical role in wound healing and tissue recovery. When there is damage to veins, such as small ruptures or chronic inflammation, The collagen generated with the help of vitamin C allows tissues to repair faster and more solidly. This is especially important for people with chronic venous insufficiency or those who have undergone medical procedures related to the legs, as it speeds recovery and reduces complications. Now let's talk about how to obtain vitamin C effectively. It is found mainly in fresh fruits and vegetables. Among the most potent sources are citrus fruits like orange, grapefruit, and lemon, but also red peppers, kiwis, strawberries, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. The ideal is to consume it naturally, directly from foods, because this way it combines with flavonoids and other compounds that enhance its absorption and effectiveness in the body. In my practice, I recommend integrating several of these sources throughout the day, including in breakfasts, salads, smoothies, and snacks. A little-known advantage of vitamin C is its ability to improve iron absorption, an essential mineral for blood oxygenation and proper tissue function. When capillaries and veins are stronger thanks to collagen, circulation improves, and along with adequate blood oxygenation, the risk of leg fatigue and heaviness sensation decreases notably. This is one reason why patients with vitamin C deficiency often report more tiredness and cramps in the extremities. Another key benefit worth mentioning is its effect on local inflammation in veins. Chronic inflammation can cause swelling, pain, and increased venous pressure, favoring varicose vein formation. Vitamin C, acting as an antioxidant and modulator of the inflammatory response, helps reduce this pressure and protects vessels from continuous damage. Additionally, it promotes skin elasticity around the legs, reducing tension on superficial veins and improving the aesthetic appearance of the area. From a practical point of view, integrating vitamin C into the daily routine is simple. A glass of natural orange juice at breakfast, a handful of peppers in lunch, and some strawberries or kiwis as a snack can cover much of the daily needs for this nutrient. For specific cases of deficiency or increased needs, supplementation can be considered, but always under medical supervision, as high doses must be evaluated individually. I also want to highlight that vitamin C enhances the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. This means it not only strengthens vein structure, but also facilitates circulation, avoiding the sensation of tired legs and decreasing the risk of swelling at the end of the day. In patients with incipient varicose veins, this combination of structural strengthening and improved blood flow is particularly beneficial. This vitamin complements very well with healthy habits for circulation. Walking daily, avoiding sitting or standing for prolonged periods, maintaining adequate weight, and slightly elevating legs during nighttime rest enhances its protective effect. The combination of a vitamin C-rich diet with these practices improves not only vein health, but also the general sense of well-being in the legs and the circulatory system overall. Vitamin C is not just an antioxidant to prevent colds, but a key nutrient for vascular health. It strengthens blood vessel walls through collagen production, protects against oxidative stress, improves microcirculation, enhances tissue healing, and reduces local inflammation. Incorporating it consistently into the diet is an effective strategy to prevent varicose veins, improve circulation, and keep your legs and veins healthy in the long term. Do you have any experience with vitamin C in caring for your veins? Tell us in the comments. The next vitamin I want to highlight for caring for your veins and arteries is vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin. This vitamin is not only essential for red blood cell formation and proper nervous system function, but also plays a fundamental role in protecting your blood vessels and preventing clot formation, a crucial topic for the health of your legs and your entire cardiovascular system. B12 acts as a kind of silent guardian inside your veins. It regulates homocysteine levels, an amino acid that, in excess, can damage the arterial wall and promote coagulation. Keeping this amino acid at adequate levels is key to preventing the formation of those plugs that hinder circulation and can lead to serious problems from venous thrombosis to heart attacks. The first thing I want you to understand is how B12 directly intervenes in your blood chemistry. When your B12 levels are optimal, your body can convert homocysteine into other non-harmful substances. Without enough B12, this process stops or slows down, and homocysteine accumulates, irritating the artery wall and making your blood more prone to clotting. This effect is seen especially in older people or those with diets low in animal products because B12 is found mainly in meats, fish, eggs, and dairy. That is why incorporating enough B12 into your diet is not just a general nutrition recommendation, but a true vascular protection strategy. Now, let's talk about how B12 helps improve circulation and strengthens your veins from a physiological point of view. This vitamin is essential for the formation of healthy red blood cells. Red blood cells transport oxygen throughout your body, and when they are insufficient or defective, blood becomes thicker and slower, which can contribute to the sensation of heavy legs and increase clot risk. Good supplementation or consumption of B12 ensures that your red blood cells are optimal, facilitating smoother, less turbulent blood flow, less prone to coagulation. In short, B12 keeps your blood highway free of congestion and functioning efficiently. It is also important to mention that B12 has an indirect anti-inflammatory effect on blood vessels. Chronic inflammation is one of the main factors that deteriorates your veins and arteries over time. Vessel walls become rigid, calcium deposits form, and blood circulates more difficultly. B12, by reducing homocysteine levels and improving red blood cell function, contributes to maintaining a less inflammatory environment inside your veins, preserving their elasticity and helping prevent problems like varicose veins, thrombosis, and arterial hardening. Now let's talk about how you can ensure your body receives enough B12 effectively. The ideal is to obtain it from natural sources: fish like salmon or trout, lean meats like chicken and turkey, eggs and dairy products like yogurt or cheese. For those following vegetarian or vegan diets, it is essential to consider fortified foods or specific B12 supplements because deficiency is more common than thought. B12 absorption depends on an intrinsic factor that your stomach produces. That is why some people with chronic gastritis, gastric surgery, or deficiency of this factor need supplements in the form of injections or sublingual tablets to ensure the vitamin reaches the blood and fulfills its protective function. I want to emphasize that B12 consumption not only prevents clots and protects arteries, but also has direct benefits on energy and neurological function. When your B12 levels are low, you may experience fatigue, tingling in the legs, and heaviness sensation, symptoms that many people confuse with normal tiredness or poor circulation, but which can actually be related to a deficiency affecting both your nerves and blood vessels. Maintaining optimal B12 levels improves tissue oxygenation, translating into lighter legs, better walking endurance, and a general sense of well-being that goes beyond the vascular system. Another interesting aspect of B12 is its relationship with healing. When micro-injuries occur in your veins, something common in people with varicose veins or mild thrombosis history, B12 helps tissue regeneration by collaborating in DNA synthesis and new blood cell production. This means your veins not only stay clean, but also repair faster and more effectively, reducing long-term complication risks. We cannot overlook the combination of B12 with other vitamins and minerals to enhance its protective effect. For example, B12 works synergistically with folic acid and vitamin B6 to regulate homocysteine. Together, these vitamins form a powerful trio that protects your arteries and veins integrally, decreasing clot risk and keeping your vessels flexible and healthy. This combination is especially recommended in people over 50 or those with family history of cardiovascular problems. I want to make something very clear. Vitamin B12 is not a miraculous remedy on its own, but it is a fundamental tool within a vascular health strategy. Taken correctly, it helps regulate coagulation, protects arteries and veins, improves circulation, reduces inflammation, and facilitates damaged tissue regeneration. For those wishing to prevent serious problems like thrombosis, arterial hardening, or severe varicose veins, B12 is an essential ally, always accompanied by healthy habits like a balanced diet, adequate hydration, and regular exercise. Vitamin B12 is a true silent guardian for your veins and arteries. It regulates homocysteine, protects the arterial wall, improves circulation, strengthens red blood cells, reduces inflammation, and helps regenerate damaged tissues. Incorporating it into your daily diet or through appropriate supplements is a strategic decision to care for your vascular system in the long term, keeping your legs light, your veins clean, and your heart protected. And if you want to have all this complete information, I invite you to watch the next video. The content of this channel uses characters for educational and informational purposes, based on public sources, studies, and general research. It does not intend to diagnose, treat, or replace professional medical recommendations. Each person is different. Always consult your trusted doctor before applying any advice related to health, nutrition, supplements, or exercises.